Hi, guys.
What is up, and welcome back to another episode of the Talk of the Ring show. You have your host,
Sabrina, and you have your host.
Harley. And I think this month was amazing. It's basically
Crazy.
over. We have one more episode after today, obviously. I think we had some bangers this month, we had Buddy Thomas, we had who else we have? We had Wonder
Wonder
Boy.
Boy.
But no, yeah, I think March is gonna be even better. We got a lot, hopefully, episodes planned. But
Crazy.
Sabrina, you want to introduce today's guest?
Yeah, I can. Today we have no one other than Ox Adams.
What's up, guys?
Sup?
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm good. Just had a show last night.
Did you?
Yeah, we did.
Your 2-second match?
Yeah, the 2-second match was like 90 seconds, but whatever.
I mean, like who was counting?
Yeah.
So basically, we're just gonna dive right into it today.
Okay.
So what or who got you into wrestling?
Well, I was like watching cartoons and I was like 4, and I think I flipped through the channels like a little too fast, and I saw like 2 grown men in their underwear like wrestling, and everyone was like they liked it, and I was intrigued by like what it was, and then I watched and it was like Christian and Booker T, and then I like from then it was just like a spark watching those 2 guys in their underwear wrestle.
Wow.
Yeah.
What?
What a
Wow. No one has ever put it that way, so it's a funny thing.
Yeah.
Because like watching it, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, if you come into a wrestling thing and you have no idea what you're about to watch,
It's weird.
and you watch 2 guys like just wrestling each other, it's weird. It's a little weird. Not gonna lie. Wow. Sorry, I'm just very shocked about the way he just described that, Harley. So basically, where do you train? I know where you train, but like, is that everywhere you train, or do you train other places?
No, I just train at the Signature Academy in Brad Headsville with AFA and the 30 to 40 students. It's always growing. There might be 50 by now.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. I know my guys, we're having technical difficulties over here. My Wi-Fi keeps going in and out, just to let you know. But so, I mean, how long have you been training with AFA?
Like 3 months, roughly.
Because I know you've been on dark matches, because I haven't seen you like yet on the main card. You're supposed to be, but it's okay.
I was supposed to be. I was supposed to be yesterday, but like stuff happens. The big slogan is card subject to change, and that's like really true. I think it changed like 13 times in like 5 days this past week. So,
Oh, Sabrina's glitching.
I know, it was crazy because like Harley and I were talking. I know I'm glitching. I know. I know before the show, me and Harley were talking, going like, "Oh,
we lost."
You got the McDonald's Wi-Fi right now, dude.
Honestly, Sabrina, is either always one of us to have the problems, but
Yeah.
I'll take over. And so, would you like? I've just recently started seeing you wrestle. So, do you prefer to be like a heel or a face?
A face. I'm definitely a face. It's kind of like rare seeing like a giant be like a good guy, but if you look throughout like the history of wrestling, there's only been like 2, maybe 3 like giant big guys. Like Andre was a face. I think Diesel was a face at one point. I think Braun was like a face for like 2 years whenever he won the championship, and that's kind of where I wanted to go. I wanted to be like the people's giant, if that makes any sense. Kind of like Andre, kind of like Diesel, but like put my own little like spin on it.
No, yeah, definitely. And how long have you been wrestling? You said you've been training for 3 months. But
like 4 months. I got like my first match after like 2 months of training, and then we're here now. So I feel like it's a bit faster than most people. Most people train for like probably like 5 to 7 months, but I think with AFA, the way he trains, you're taking so many bumps and you're getting so much ring time that it's a bit like fast forwarded.
No, yeah, definitely. Especially like with the crowd. The crowd, like, I've been to so many different wrestling shows, and like last night was different. Like, it was a whole different vibe, and the people, like the lights. I really enjoyed the show. So, and your match was pretty quick, but it was good.
Yeah, it was like on the fly, man.
Yeah, right. All I remember was seeing this tall person go in, beat someone up, and I was like, damn, that was fast.
Yeah, yeah.
But you killed it out there.
Yeah.
So, like, since you're just starting, what would you say is like your favorite part about wrestling?
Just like the psychology behind wrestling and like the kind of like the kayfabe of it, and like when the crowd legitimately cares about like why these two guys are fighting as opposed to like the actual fight themselves. Because like if you look throughout history, some of the best like psychology workers, like Jerry the King Lawler, he wasn't like an outstanding wrestler per se in the ring, but he legitimately got heat. Like there like it was going out of style. Like there were people would bring like guns and like knives and like bats to like matches because that's how much heat Jerry the King Lawler got, and that's what I think is so special about wrestling.
No, yeah, definitely. Serena just magically pops back in.
I don't even want to talk about what just happened. Okay, I just had to restart my computer real quick because I was like, it wasn't going. So all I heard was knives, and I was like, oh, this is the kind of show we're running today.
Violence. No, we were just saying
violence is always the answer.
Yeah, we were saying heel or face. He says he prefers to be a face, and then we were talking about like some of the school things.
I will tell you straight out. Okay, as a person coming into seeing you for the first time, I thought you were going to be a heel.
Yeah.
Just because, just the tallness, like the way you carry yourself, you're very confident. So I was like, okay, he's gonna be confident and cocky. So when you came out as a face, I was a little taken back, but I was also like, wow.
Yeah.
And then you climbed over the first rope, and I looked at Harley and I was like, I can't do that.
That's why I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But do you notice like when you're facing
Her Wi-Fi just did it again. Dude, can she get on like a cell, like an AT&T service or something right now?
She should just do it on her phone.
Yeah.
Use her data.
Yeah.
But I don't know what she was gonna say, but do you ever notice like you're like before you go out of the curtains, is there anything that you do to step up to it and like get ready for your match?
Well, like this is only like I've only wrestled 2 matches, but like the match from not last night, but the month before, it was my first match. I was legit. I was like so nervous that there was sweat just like dripping off me, and I had like the perfect excuse because I'm like hella anxious, but I'm thinking like if I just go lift some weights, people will think that I'm like eager to get in there, but like little do they know I'm actually like horrified. So like I was just like pumping some like just bench pressing for like 30 minutes and to distract the sweat, and no one asked about it, but like in actuality I was absolutely mortified.
No, yeah, I get that anxiety like with wrestling. Oh my gosh.
She's back again.
I have it on my cell phone this time though. Like it's on my cell phone.
Okay.
So you better figure it out, Sabrina. Like this is supposed to be a 2-person show, not
really, Harley, because you now have to work tomorrow, so leaving me by myself basically with your dad. No, I'm just kidding. I don't have an issue with it. Yeah, no, I don't, it's always one of us, like she said. Like I heard her say, it's always one of us, and you know, last time it was her computer died, and this time it's me.
Yeah.
But so as I was saying before I decided to cut out, apparently, so I don't know, maybe if you said this before, Harley, so just like keep me in the loop here. Because of how tall you are, do you find it harder to go against someone that's like small, like let's say Timid Tamir, how small he is?
Well, Timid Tamir is actually like a really good heel. Believe it or not, at the Tyson Kidd seminar, he was like the MVP of the camp because Timid Tamir's gimmick is that he's like timid and he's like scared and he's like kind of shy in the ring. But like Tyson was like really like rocking with that. He was like, yo, that was like so dope. Out of everyone in the seminar, Timid Tamir, who's like maybe 5'3", got the shout out over everybody. There was probably 40 students there. So shout out to him because he's working that gimmick pretty good. But like in general, working a heel, usually the heel is the more experienced wrestler. So like if you're a face, there's really little to no expectations, especially if the heel goes out first, because the heel will get heat from the crowd and he'll like, talk his shit, like get the crowd riled up. And you just go out there and everyone's just like, well, that's obviously a good guy because he's not a bad guy, because the guy that just came out is the bad guy. So it's actually really easy for like a newer worker to be a face than a heel. So that's kind of why I got like put in that position.
Okay.
I think we just froze.
A little bit.
A little bit. Wait, who froze?
You froze for a minute, but I think he just froze.
Oh no. What is happening tonight, guys? What is happening?
How long was I talking before it cut out?
So you said, "Oh, I think someone's froze," and then
okay, yeah,
froze.
Okay, I think we're good now.
I don't know what's going on, guys. We're just having.
Oh, great! Now Sabrina's gone again. But it is a snowstorm, so I mean, I was gonna say Sabrina's gone again.
No, someone was trying to call me, and I had to like.
Yeah.
Swipe up. It's hard being on my phone. It really is. So I don't know. Harley, what kind of questions have we asked so far? Because I glitched, man.
Well, let's see. We asked him what or who got him into wrestling.
Yes.
Who trained him? Heel or face? The next question we should ask is, do you have like a dream match that you'd want to do? It could be indies, professional, whatever.
Damn, that's a really good question. Believe it or not, like my favorite wrestler as a kid was the Hurricane. You know, like Gregory Helms would come out with the superhero gimmick and he would like get his ass kicked. I thought that was the coolest, like most unique thing as a kid. So my dream match is the Hurricane, yeah, for sure.
There you go.
Harley. Who could you see him going up against?
Oh, I don't know. You take the stand first, Serena. Let me think about it.
When I talked to you before the show, I did tell you a little bit, but I'll tell our viewers, and Harley knows where I'm going to go with this.
Yeah.
We had him on our podcast, Laszlo, just because, like, I think Laszlo is a huge baby face, but he can also be the bad guy. He said, I don't care. I go to promotions. I say, do you need a good guy or do you need a bad guy? I'll be both.
Yeah.
So I think that you guys would have a really good connection. But I also think just because, like, I would love to see you just beat the crap out of him. And I'm sorry, Harley, if I'm going to take your answer, but Johnny Moran.
Oh my gosh. You know, I don't know where that leaves me.
I mean, I could tell you where it could lead you because I know at least one other person that you could go against that you would love to see him beat.
I don't know who, but well, me personally, I'm going to say Tim Theory.
Oh, yeah, dude. He's a great worker. His matches are crazy.
Our answer's reversed because usually I'm always the one to say Tim Theory.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tim, yeah, but he's a favorite.
Yeah, right. He's a character. But no.
Just in general, if you got a call today from AEW and WWE, who would you pick?
Probably like AEW, because I've actually gone to multiple like AEW shows and I like the program and stuff that they have, and I prefer their roster over WWE's. I feel like there's a lot more talent as opposed to like people kind of surviving for like a spot on the roster, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel that. As Harley will tell you, I'm a huge AEW person. She's a WWE person here.
Yeah.
Like, when we ask this question, I really want to have like a poster board up that's like AEW or WWE and just like start tallying who's done it just so we can keep track here.
Yeah.
But like I feel like both of them have like really good storylines. I think that's what I look for, at least in wrestling. I don't know about Harley, and you can answer this, Carly, but like I think that what makes a wrestling like event or just franchise is a storyline between wrestlers. Because like I know that Smash, which we're going to Smash Wrestling this weekend, they always have storylines between wrestlers like leading up to the the matches. They're like, oh, like Kit and Mr. MIT are having it out, and they're like doing promo videos about each other, going back and forth, and like building this matchup. And I think that's what makes the fans really enjoy it, because they're like, oh my God, they've been going at it on social media. Let's see how this plays out. So I think a storyline could really like make or break a match.
Yeah, I think WWE has better like storylines in general than AEW, because I feel like there's for every like one good AEW storyline, there's like 7 simultaneously going on in the WWE. Like there's like Roman, I'm sure there's there's like mid card feuds going on, and I honestly can only name like 2 feuds in AEW right now, maybe.
Oh yeah, that's hard. But like I know that like Harley and I we talk about this a lot. It's definitely different being in a like WWE show compared to indie shows.
Yeah.
Like what if you had to choose? I know that WWE is like a dream, but like if you were a fan, would you rather go to an indie show or would you rather go to a professional show?
Probably a professional show. I've been to plenty of both, and the times I've been to AEW and I was front row for AEW was I think Bryan Danielson and like Chris Jericho had a match. It was like a 35-minute like spot fest. I was just marking out the whole time, and I've never had a bad experience with like the 3 or 4 AEW shows I've gone to. So I'm gonna have to go with that one.
There you go.
Yeah.
Harley, what about you? Would you rather go to a WWE show or would you rather be an indie show?
Definitely an indie show. One, because they're better and more affordable, but because the talent actually gets involved with the fans and it's not just like I'm here for the money and easily just leave.
Yes.
The indie shows are definitely a lot better.
Yeah, it's more like interpersonal. You guys can like hang out with the wrestlers after the show, and it's like a bigger connection because there's only like 300 people in a room as opposed to like 30,000. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I know yesterday was more of like our I wouldn't say our territory, but like our home, because like we knew a lot of the players, and so we were like going hard on like especially primetime heat. Like we love those guys, and so when they came out, we just went hardcore, and people around us, I think, thought we were crazy because like, but especially Harley, because like when I see her and I combined are like done, because she'll be the yeller, I'm the noisemaker. I'm like wheel. Just because I don't have the voice like she does. So I'm like, I'll just and hopefully I'll get somewhere. But it's very interesting to see, especially the wrestlers coming up and being like, oh, like Vinny comes out and goes, oh, your sign sucks, and like he'll rip it. It's a different experience. I would prefer indie shows as well, just because of that personalness of like getting to know the wrestlers. And that's the main reason why Harley and I started this podcast, is because we do want to get to know you guys on a level of like, and let the fans know you guys of like, you guys are more than just getting in the ring and beating each other's heads off, you know, like you're more than that.
No, yeah, definitely. Vinny, oh my gosh. Vinny, I love Vinny. Vinny would even be great going against you. Vinny almost killed me yesterday, but
I don't know if Ox saw that. Ox, did you see what happened during halftime?
No, what happened?
So Harley came over to me. He's like, hey, I want to work with Vinny. So we went over to Vinny and Mr. Ruda, and I was taking the picture, and the moment I snapped the picture, one guy from like the Samoa for the main event came out and like started attacking Vinny, and all of a sudden Vinny's going this way. Ruda came like falling on me. We were getting pushed back. We're like, what is going on? Like it was the craziest thing during halftime, like ever.
I swear to God, I literally told myself in that moment, I'm like, this is it. This is how I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die at a wrestling show.
Yeah, that's a hell of a way to go.
I was expecting, but
this is how it goes. But like it was definitely a great match, and like it's just it's weird how things change. And like you said, going back to the subject to change, like I mean, I would love to see you beat Steve-O from Wild Boys, because that's another one of our favorite people on this show. Just because like we don't really know their character. Like we haven't, I personally, I don't know about Harley, but I personally haven't had any kind of conversation with them at the shows.
Yeah.
So if I've had conversations like with you and stuff, like I'll obviously like go, yeah, come on, Ox. However, we need to come up with a better cheer for you. Like instead of
You can
Ox,
just say Ox. It's only one syllable.
yeah, I know, but like just I get Ox, 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 Ox. Like I get really weird. I say Adams, but like that's another. You know what I mean? Like we got to come up with something. Like I mean, what is Nolan Pierce's riddles?
Riddles.
We'll come up with. I mean, Harley and I'll come up with something. Like we'll call you something, and you won't know what it is. But like Harley and I'll know. Oh. Like, do you like? Have you done a lot of shows, or have you only done the BPW shows?
Just these 2 BPW shows. I've only been doing this for like a couple months.
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously, more opportunity will come to you, and like I say on this podcast all the time, like we can see wrestlers that we could see going very far in this industry, and I'm sure that that's going to be you because I've seen the way you are in the ring, and even though they're dark matches, a lot of people don't get to see it. It's like you do have that talent there, and I'm sure with the more training, like that'll even be better. I think that if you ever try to do a high dive though in that facility, it won't.
Yeah, I probably get caught up in the rafters and have to be pulled down by like a fire truck or something, you know.
Oh yeah! Oh my gosh, the fire alarm went off yesterday too. I don't know if because you left before the main event, so the fire alarm went off yesterday.
Okay.
I was like, are we supposed to leave? Because like no one was budging, so I was like, oh, all right, guess we're staying here. But I mean, it was just burned. I'll just burn right here, guys. It's fine. Harley, please ask another question because I don't have my phone. I have my phone on me.
So, is there anything like that you can definitely see yourself achieving in the next 5 years of like your wrestling career?
Oh, absolutely. I think in the next like 5 to 8 months, I'll be probably pretty much booked every other weekend or every weekend, working like a big stretch, like a tour, so to speak, on the indies. I think that's a really attainable goal because I've only been doing this for 3 months, and I was supposed to be on the card after just like 2 months of training, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So in other words, you just got a bunch of talent that you need to unleash.
Yeah. But like being this big is honestly like during the match, it's really like it's an advantage, but like training being this large is really hard because this sport, air quotes, is like not designed for someone that's like the size of like 2 houses, you know?
Yeah, I mean, is it also like very hard on your joints as well? Because like
yeah, just like bumping and like rolling and just doing like the majority of any drill or like warm up we do. It like my back and my knees and my neck and my shoulders are just contorted, and I feel like they're put through like the ringer far worse than like a smaller guy has to go through.
For sure. Oh yeah, I mean, obviously, Office sees something very special in you that like he wants to get you out very quickly. But do you find yourself finding a ritual before you get out onto the into the audience? Like when they play your music, like are you backstage like jumping around or something like that to get yourself pumped up?
Well, she actually asked me that question whenever you were trying to figure out your internet. But it's funny you ask because my first show, I was so nervous. I was telling her a minute ago that I was just dripping sweat. It looked like I was in the shower, and I was so nervous that I'm thinking like I'm embarrassingly sweaty. So I just ran to the weight room across the hall from the training facility, and I just started like pumping out some bench press because then I'm so sweaty that like no one's gonna be able to think like, oh, he's sweaty because he's nervous. They're thinking, oh, he's sweaty because he's lifting weights. So that was my like genius move to kind of divert the attention away from me. But I was drenched in sweat. I was absolute like on the brink of like passing out due to sweat.
And I was there, so I thought that you were just like that was because I know a lot of wrestlers like wet their hair right before they go.
Oh no, all natural, dude. That was straight up sweat, man.
He's like, I'm not lie to you. That was sweat.
But like now that I got that first match like off my shoulders, it's a lot more. It's like being free now because like now instead of stressing about am I going to do bad? Is this going to happen? Are they going to like me? It's like I can just lock myself into like character mode, and I'm like the people's giant. That's all I have to worry about because I know I'm going to whoop this guy's ass. I know I'm going to win. There's nothing to worry about,
That's crazy. It's so funny that you just admitted that for the internet about how they.
No, dude, it is what it is. It happened, dude. I was mad sweaty. It was disgusting.
I mean, hey, I respect y'all because like a lot of you guys after your matches will come out, but you make sure you're cleaned up first before you come out to the audience. And it's funny, like, so you guys try to hug us, and I'm like, oh God, here comes like the body odor, and like,
Yeah.
no, this is great. So no, I'm sad that I actually missed that the first time, but you know, I enjoyed it this past time because I didn't get a chance to hear the story because of my stupid internet.
Yeah.
But like I know that obviously you're very new, so have you thought about any kind of like merch or like what you want to do in the future?
Well, yeah, I have like shirts and stuff. People, you kind of buy them a little bit. They're pretty cool. I'm trying to get on Pro Wrestling Tees, but it's like a long process. I mean, I'm getting shirts and stuff made though. I'm getting there.
He's like I'm getting there. I promise. It's good. And it's a process, and like I you know, so far you're doing better than I would because I don't know about you, Harley, but I can't take a bump for anything.
Oh, dude, it doesn't really hurt that bad because once you take like your very first bump, all of like the nerves of like, is this gonna hurt? Am I gonna break my?
I think he's actually the first person to ever say it doesn't hurt that bad. Usually they're more like, it hurts. Don't do it.
Me, I'm over here like, hit me.
Are we back?
You're back now. Hello.
What was the last thing you heard me say?
Oh, then we lost
it. What the hell's going on, dude?
That doesn't hurt. No, I had an alarm set to take my medicine. That's what went off.
Okay.
But you know, the last thing we heard was basically. Oh God.
The bump, right?
Yeah, the bump don't hurt bad.
Okay, yeah. So like whenever you're taking that bump, you're just so scared of like breaking your back and like paralyzing yourself because you're literally just like throwing your body on the ground, which is like not what it's engineered to do. But like once you get over the fear of like I'm gonna hurt myself, that's when like all of the rust kind of just fades away and you're no longer. That's when you start getting like it gets smoother, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, for sure. Like, yeah, no, I couldn't do it. Respect to you. I will sit in the audience where I'm meant to be.
Yeah.
And just sit there. But do you think that there will be like an age though that like you get to and you're like, I don't think I want to do this anymore?
Yeah. Well, there's like a thing. There's like a common catchphrase sort of for that thing. They call it your bump card. Did you ever see Polar Express when you were a kid?
Yes.
And you know how like the conductor guy was like clicking his ticket, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's like your bump card. You can only take a certain amount of bumps before it's like, well, I've hit my 1,000th bump. Now I need back surgery. I've hit my 5,000th bump. Now I'm paralyzed in part of my leg. And I've hit my 20,000th bump. Now I have to quit. That's kind of like how it goes. Because like if a certain practice is getting long enough, I'll be like, damn, I've taken 100 bumps today. I can't really feel my fingers right now. And it feels like I think if you're just humming that in, it's just constant, just bump after bump, that bump card gets shorter, and that's when your body is like telling you like, oh, I really can't go much further, you know?
Oh yeah. And like I know because I know what you do when you're not wrestling. But you're also on your feet a lot. So
yeah.
Like how do you go from being on your feet all day to your regular job to like wrestling practice? Like how are you not like exhausted?
I am. By the time we get like once you get to practice, you like get warmed up and it's usually like 500 squats or like in that ballpark. So my legs are fried and then we do like 200 to 500 squats depending on how many people show up to practice. So then my legs are really fried and then we like do a bunch of like running and rolls and so I am tired. I'm not a gangster. I'm not like a badass. I am suffering really bad.
Man, kudos to you because like before, I don't think I could ever do that. I die after like the first 50.
Yeah.
I do 10 sets of 10 squats for barbells, but like I could not do 500 squats.
It's like 200, but either way, it whoops my ass every time, and I'm like on the verge of cramping up.
Yeah.
And then you have to roll, and you do your bumps, and you do some drills like the international or something like that.
And then you have to stretch. You can't forget about stretching.
Yeah, yeah.
If you don't stretch, there you go. You're gonna get injured even more.
Yeah.
Crazy. Just like the 200 squats and then like running and rolling. Oh.
Yeah.
Harley, I'm not cut out for that life.
Yeah, like my first practice, I like threw up like a quarter through practice, and I like didn't really finish. I was like 60 pounds heavier then. I've lost like 60 or so pounds, but even then, like I feel like everyone's first practice like is usually like torturous because it seems like every week there's like a new student at the training center, and it's like that guy is like going through hell right now, usually.
Yeah, I mean, like, did you know what that first practice was going to feel like when you went into it, or did you just like, was that very unexpected?
Well, I knew it was gonna hurt, but like I kind of already knew how to bump and stuff. It's just my cardio and like being that large, it was just like I was just suffering so much worse than everyone else.
Oh wow! And then like, have you had to change your diet at all? Like, I don't know.
Yeah. I like cut my calories in half because I'm trying to like shred, get shredded instead of being like fat.
And shredded, and I just lost. I was done. Yeah, like there are some wrestlers that I have been known to body shame by accident.
Yeah.
Just because Harley knows the story. They'll come out and y'all think that you are like great. So you guys start taking off your shirt, and I, being the bestie person in the audience, go, yeah, put your shirt back on. And I said that to the one guy, and he goes, I know I'm fat.
Oh, that's fucking sad.
Damn it, Sabrina.
The next month that I saw him, he lost like 20 pounds. And
dude, it's motivation. You motivated him.
Right. I was like, see, Harley goes, see what you did? You body shamed him, and now look. I'm like, oh my God. Like, I went up to him, and he's like, no, man, I was just on medication that time. He's like, that's why I was bulking up. He goes, you're all good. I was like, I felt so bad. Like, so I get it. That's why I asked about the diet thing. Cause like, I don't know if you had to stick to a diet. Like,
I did. Yeah. I was doing a lot of fasting. I was only eating like once a day, and I was probably consuming about 1,200 calories, but I was burning all of it off just to, try to get in shape to be like not dying during practice or during a match,
Oh yeah. Kudos to you, because I could not cut my calories in half.
Well, being this tall, you can either be like, you have to be like a really fucking fat, like a big old fat dude, or you have to be like shredded as shit. There's no like in between, right?
That is, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And then so you go to office school. Is there any other school that you looked at before, or did you always knew that you wanted to be top?
Well, I actually was trained by this guy who he was like a protege of Dr. Death Steve Williams. It was down in Louisiana, but like in the South, wrestling is like so much less professional and like dirty. I was like training with this guy, but he was having me like follow him around, and he was working shows in like flea markets and like antique conventions and like barns. I actually like trained in a barn for a few weeks. It was disgusting. There was cow shit everywhere, and we were training in it, and I was breathing it in. It was disgusting.
Wow. I mean, did you learn anything from that training experience though?
Actually, like most of the stuff that I like learned, I like did it here, and everyone's like, "What the fuck are you doing? That looks like shit." And I'm like, "Oh," and I don't know what I haven't been trained before. I would like make the excuse of I don't know what I'm doing, but I do. But I know what I'm doing wrong.
Right.
Everything I'm doing is shit.
Are you a hard critic on yourself too? Like, if you're not getting something, like, are you yourself up about it?
Yeah, but like I'm also like a really big like stan of myself, because like towards the end of usually every practice we'll like work a match where you can like kind of figure out another like trainees like psychology and the way they work and how they are in the ring. And I've pretty much wrestled everyone at the performance center pretty much, and I'll watch the match back and I'll be like, damn, I fucked that up, or that was bad, or I botched that, or that was slow, or I should have took more time doing this. But I'll also like I'll edit down the videos of the stuff I do really good that gets a pop. Like if there's 20 trainees watching the match and they pop for something, I'm thinking like that's gonna pop with an actual crowd. So I'll study the stuff that goes over and the stuff that kind of like duds out. I'll make sure to subtract that from my moveset,
No, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Like, what was funny was because I was gonna ask that like similar question that Sabrina did. I was like, damn, she took it right from me. But like when you said when you were just that itty bitty big child watching them wrestle in their underwear,
yeah,
you always knew at like that moment, like, okay, I want to do this when I'm older, or is it like something that came after?
Oh, that was like strictly comedy. I didn't actually want to wrestle like lubed up men in their undies. I just say that if someone asks, I'll just throw that out there to like make them laugh. But that's not actually why I wanted to become a wrestler. Well, what had happened was like 5-6 months ago, I went to this show in like Syracuse, which is where I was stationed at because I was in the military, and I just had like some free time. I figured, fuck it, I'll go to a random wrestling match, and I saw this guy come out. His name was like Brody King, and he's 6'8". I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he's exactly my size. He's like 6'8", 300 and something pounds, covered head to toe in tattoos, just like me. And I watched him wrestle Mox for the championship belt because that's who was the champion at the time, and it was just the most like absolute craziest shit I've ever seen in my life. And I told myself, I'm not gonna work a 9 to 5. This is what I'm gonna make a career out of, and that's how this is all kind of unfolded.
Computer decided to do updates while I was there. No, that's awesome, and like it's crazy because I feel like now getting to know you, you're like a man of many talents. You're in the military, like
yeah,
you're a wrestler, and like you work all the time. Like, man, is there something that you don't do?
Yeah, right.
Eat slowly.
I eat fast as well, but I think it's just because of my job that I feel like 30 minutes is never enough. Exactly. And so then I'm like, I gotta shovel it all in. And sometimes I don't even get a break. So it's all good.
Oh my gosh. No, he froze for a second.
Can't hear him. Oh no. What is happening? What is happening?
There, but I don't think we can hear him.
I can't read your lips, sir. I can't hear you. No, still can't hear you. What's happening?
This is great.
This is honestly, we haven't had a podcast like this in so long that I'm actually kind of enjoying this. That is really close to the camera.
Well, we're probably just gonna have to speak or for the rest of the episode, but I don't know.
Are you enjoying this experience? Yeah.
I don't even know what to say anymore. Usually we'll just end it off and be like, you know what? Where do you wrestle? Well, we already figured out he wants to adventure off to more wrestling companies, but right now it's only BPW. But
he just messaged me how do I unmute myself. I'm not really sure.
It says you're on mute. I think you're good. It's just something. I don't know.
Oh my gosh. My freaking roommate's downstairs again. It's so funny. You know, Ox, I would love to tell you how you're.
This damn snowstorm.
Oh. You know, guys, this just proves to you this is why we do not edit our videos so you can see the realness of this podcast. Hello? No. Can't hear you.
Oh my gosh.
What if he goes out and comes back in?
Yes.
Yeah, do that. Go out and then come back in. Go, okay. Okay, we got a thumbs up, everybody.
I love this. No, but I think on the topic of last night's show, BPW, if you guys didn't make it, then I don't know what to tell you. You gotta make it to
you guys missed me and Harley almost dying.
Yeah, I'm back now.
There you go.
God, we were nervous.
Yeah.
We were like, hello?
I said a joke and it cut out. I don't know if the punchline came through or what. I don't think
I heard the joke.
Oh, you asked is there anything you can't do? But the joke was I said eat slowly, but it cut out. So the delivery was off. It was just terrible.
Yeah, because I was like, nope, I eat fast. It was fine. We thought we were gonna have to mime too the whole time. So
okay,
we don't have to do that. But no, I'm excited to see where you go. I mean, I know you're so new, and we're gonna get so much hate. I just realized from Bryce, because Bryce wanted us to have him on our podcast as soon as he debuted.
Yeah.
And I chose you instead.
Oh, get him on here. Come on.
Right.
Well, we will. I think it's a scheduling thing too. Just because like, you know, we're busy. You guys are busy. Like, even just scheduling a lot of wrestlers, it's like, it's a lot. Like, I know that she does a lot of scheduling for us because like I'm horrible with messaging people usually. But it's a lot of like, you have to work with the wrestler. They got to work with us because like Harley has a job that is sporadic sometimes too. My job likes to call me in sometimes. Like, so I mean, and things come up. People get sick, so it's all good.
I mean, I'm sure Bryce will be on here at one point.
Yeah, you could have like had me and him on here at the same time. I wouldn't have cared.
Right.
He also like never really gives me like an actual answer of when he wants to come on. So I give him the dates, and he's just like, "Okay, I'll come on eventually." So Bryce is seeing this.
Has he like actually said he's gonna come on, or is he like kind of like skeptical about it?
No, he's like, I want to come. Like, he was asking us even before he debuted. He's like, so when I debut, are you gonna have me on? And I was like, I can have you on when you debut. Like, we can have you on. Like, if someone comes up to us and is like, can I be on your podcast? Like, of course. Like, we're not gonna turn the wrestler down.
Depends on who it is, but
if it's Johnny Moran, hell no. Like, that's a stone cold no. We said that about Tim Theory too, and see what happened. He came on our podcast.
Oh yeah, nice. Yeah, I'll talk to Bryce at practice Tuesday and be like, they really want to get you on the podcast, and maybe he'll hit you up.
Yeah, put a bug in his ear. Like, I mean, is there anybody from the school that you go to that you could see coming on to our podcast? Like,
you said you have Tim Theory on here.
We've had Tim Theory.
You should get Bryce on here. You should get Kibu Harris. He's really funny. You should get him on here.
We talked to him last night about it.
Yeah, y'all got to get him on here. He's working the indies up in upstate New York. I think he's kind of getting his name out there. Y'all should definitely have him on here. Who else? Trey Heat. Y'all should get him on here. Dion. Get him at the same time. Actually, that'd be awesome.
So, fun fact: we tried to get Primetime Heat on there. Dio got on very, very well. Trey was having some technical difficulties, so it turned out to be the Dio show.
Dio show.
And it's funny because he was working out while he was doing the podcast. And I remember getting off the podcast and saying to Harley, like, that was like the first time someone was actually working out while.
That's kind of his gimmick, that Trey Heat, he's like a beast. He'll like come alive during the match and he'll like unleash like the fire. So he might have been working, y'all. He might have not been at the gym. He's just trying to get his gimmick over that he's the beast, you know?
Maybe. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of good talent, I think, definitely coming up in that school.
Yeah.
And there's constantly new people coming on.
Oh yeah, like once a week that we had like two, 3 people come in like last week at the same time. It's growing. It's like every week there's pretty much a new like trainee.
You know, that's what I was gonna say to you before, Sabrina. I was like, maybe one day we should take our butts to training and just live it for a day just to see what they go through.
Yeah.
Like, on like the topic of training, they train for like anything, right? They train to be like a ref, a wrestler.
Yeah. There's like people that want to be refs. There's people that manage like Mike Payton. No one likes him, but he's a manager. Yeah.
I hate that kid. Hate that kid.
I don't know if I've ever met him.
The one from last night.
Yeah, the one that I choke slammed on the first show.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
That's another one that's never coming on here, guys.
He's banned.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
I do also have to ask, like, because I know that some places that you go to are very cliquey. Like when you walk in there, like there's definitely like cliques going on. Is that something that you experience walking into this training facility?
No. It's like really like supportive, and like if you fuck up, no one's gonna laugh at you. They're gonna teach you how to like not hurt yourself. Did she just lose service? Oh
no, my alarm.
No, it's not clicky. Everyone's kind of like helping each other out, trying to like look out for each other, and there's not like animosity if someone, gets put on the card and you don't, or like this guy's doing better than you. It's really just supportive rather than like jealousy based or click, like you said.
No, that's good because like, I mean, I would hate to walk in somewhere and like not feel like I'm wanted.
Yeah.
Or like I'm not good enough. So like that's good to hear that like anybody that is listening, if you guys want to go train with Alpha, it's like a big family over there. I mean,
kind of looking like maybe I should get my butt into training.
Go ahead. I will honestly support you.
I'm going through so many different phases. Like, okay, I'm going to be a wrestler, and then I'm like, no, I don't want to. But then I'm like, I want to be a manager, but I'm like, I don't want to. So I'm like, I don't know what I want to do. Do I want to go through like 200 sets of like just squats and this? I'm like, probably not. Do I want to do the bumps? No.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be something. That's what I'm saying, Sabrina. How many days do you train out of the week? You said on Tuesdays.
Yeah, it's Tuesdays and Fridays, but I like watch matches on my own and like take notes from Brody King or like Kane or other big men, and I try to be in the weight room and try to do cardio pretty much every day because you got to have your cardio because pro wrestling cardio is just so different than any other sport or anything like that.
Now, with someone like Harley that would like love to be in the ring one day, what advice would you give someone to like that would come up to you and be like, any advice for me? I really want to get into this. Like,
just for her because she wants to be a manager, or just like in general?
Well, in general, or her.
It's gonna hurt. But you have to just listen to like Alpha and your trainers and just trust that what they're teaching you is facts, and like just kind of go with the flow, and everything's gonna come right if you just treat your body right and give this business what it deserves.
Oh yeah.
There you go, Harley. Take notes.
Honestly, this man right here is giving me a motivation and wanting to do it even more. I'm like, I don't know. I'm in that spot. Like, I don't know, but I do want to do it. I don't want to do it.
Yeah, just like talk to Alpha.
You'll call me after training. I'm like so sore.
I don't know if I want to do this anymore.
Yeah. You can just talk to Alpha and be like, yo, I really want to be a manager, and he'll teach you how to like work a heel manager or work like a valet,
I don't know if I could pull off a heel manager.
Yeah.
We had one episode last week, and that was Buddy Thomas, and I think that's the only time the heel side of me came out.
Yeah.
As people know in this podcast, I'm the baby face, Sabrina's the heel, but that episode, I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was because it was my birthday. I don't know, but I was a heel, and Sabrina was just like, this is entertaining. I enjoy this.
I think, most of the time it's like sitting there going, oh, interesting. Because, like, usually I'm the one, like, really bagging on our guests. Like, I'll like, be so sarcastic. And this was a time where I didn't have to do anything. And she was doing it all for me. I was like, perfect. This is great. Keep going.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's great. I honestly, Harley, I say go for it. Like, I mean, hey, you're 16 years old. You have your life ahead of you. I'm almost 30. I'm down the drain.
The drain.
I take care of old people for a living. That's my job. So, I mean, I say go through it. Like, but would you rather be a valet or would you rather be a heel manager, girlfriend?
Oh.
Could you pull off the Mr. Clean or could you pull off the broccoli?
I don't know. Definitely. I don't know.
And those are inside jokes if anybody doesn't know.
Yeah, I had no idea what you were talking about.
Mr. Clean is Ruda.
Okay.
And broccoli is
Primal Fear, their valet.
Okay.
And she
I don't know.
has green hair, so she usually has them like in these like little space buns, so I call her broccoli.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe I think it could always change. Like, maybe when you're like, when you first went into wrestling, did you think, okay, I'm only gonna be a face, or at one point did you want to be a heel?
Well, you kind of don't really get to pick, depending on like the company you're starting out with. If there's like 35 heels and like 2 faces, you're gonna be working face because there has to be like an even flow, because you can't just have a bunch of heels wrestling heels, because then the heel that won is now a face because he went over, or it has to be like an equal flow,
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I was gonna say. Like, I could say I'm gonna be a face, but then if I have to, I might have to dig down deep and ask Buddy Thomas to piss me off before a show, and there you go. I'll be
Yeah,
a heel.
it's kind of fun working heel because you can kind of like get under the crowd's skin, and that's when like the psychology of like, well, why are these two guys wrestling? Well, this guy pissed him off by doing this, or this bad guy did this, and that's how the fans get like invested in it, and that's kind of like the fandom behind wrestling,
Yeah, definitely. Last night, I think Vinny and that other one, they killed it. They killed, almost killing me.
Yeah.
I swear to God,
like it took me a minute to figure out who you were talking about of the other one. I was like, oh.
Oh my God, let me show you. I literally, I don't know who I sent this picture to, but I was like, I posted on Instagram. Bryce is in the back right here. He's like, he knows something's about to happen. I was like, bro, you could have gave me a warning so I don't die.
Yeah, dude,
like,
it was so funny. Like, she was taking a great photo. It was a great photo. And then all of a sudden, like, Ruda's pushing me, and Vinny's like trying to get her out of the way. And we're like, I looked at her and I was like, where are we supposed to go? Because there was people behind us. So I was like,
no, yeah, definitely. Like, I love Vinny for that because Vinny was like, okay, I have to move her before, like, I kill her. I was like, thank you, Vinny, for trying to save me. Meanwhile, Ruda comes out of nowhere and he's like, huddling over me. Thank you
that's
for.
what I mean by, like, storylines, Harley. Is like, that was a great storyline that happened last night. It's like, you knew, like, from the last few got my companies mixed up. BPW, like, shows, this rivalry with the Samoans and championship material has been building up to that moment where the last resort. And the last resort, they decide to kill the little man at the end. So,
poor Ruda.
That was a great end to that storyline, and I'm so excited to see like what other storylines they come up with, because I can't. Now what am I supposed to look forward to? There's no rivalry going on.
But it never ends. It never just ends there. Maybe Vinny and Joey Martinez will come back and beat the shit out of the Samoans for killing Ruda.
Yeah, that happens.
So there's the storyline continued. You never know. Or maybe Harley will, or maybe Harley will step in as the manager of championship material till Ruda comes back. You don't know.
Take Ruda's spot. You have his sunglasses.
Exactly. I can be. There you go.
So this is usually the time of the show that we usually ask the person, like, if people want to find you on Instagram or like any kind of social media, where can they find you?
My Instagram is it's at the Ox Adams. My TikTok is Ox Adams, and I think my Twitter is also Ox Adams too.
I feel like TikTok is like getting very popular in the wrestling industry, because you post like your promo videos, like your highlight reels, like get seen more across the world. It's like that's pretty cool, and I'm really I'm excited.
That's how I found out about Encore more. That's how I found out about him. I saw him doing like a bunch of crazy shit on TikTok, and then last night he was at the show. He's put on like a really good match with KC. It was awesome. I was marking out.
I love Encore. He's another one. Him, Vinny, Lance, and Encore. Gosh, I love it.
When I first met Encore and I found his TikTok because it came up on my like For You page, I literally was like, oh my gosh, he has such a sense of humor. Like, I knew he was a nice person and like he was down to earth, but the sense of humor that he has on TikTok, I'm like, wow, like, keep it up, man. And has he?
She cut out right before.
He died.
It's my alarm, okay? Because I keep like just swiping up. So like after 6 minutes, it just goes back off. But no. I mean, overall, I think last night went pretty well.
Yeah.
And I just want to thank you for also just coming on to our podcast. I know that like you're up and coming, and I can't wait to see where like this takes you. And maybe, who knows, years down the road, if we're still doing this, I hope we're still doing this. We'll bring you back on and kind of see like what changed in your life and like where you are. Who knows? Maybe an AEW star. We don't know.
Yeah. That'll be awesome.
But Harley, would you like to close us out?
100%, sure. So thank you so much for coming on. Like Sabrina said, taking the time out. It was fun. Other than, you getting kicked out, Sabrina just dying.
Yeah.
It's fine, you know, like she said, well, we're glad to have you on again whenever you want.
Yeah.
You know, you got a lot of time ahead of you. We'll be back tomorrow. Well, I won't be back. My dad will be filling in tomorrow night. So there you go. Sabrina and whatever name he has multiple names. So I guess you're going to have to come and find out his name for the night. He may be Harley 2.0. But make sure you're tuning in at 6 o'clock tomorrow night, because we'll have the stepdads on. So that they have a great sense of humor. So that might be fun. Yeah. So have a great night and stay warm.
See y'all. Thank you for having me on here.